Whittier Tech School Committee meeting for August 12th to order. Let's see, those attending tonight's meeting should be aware that the meeting is being audio and video recorded by Whittier Tech. Any audience members who wish to record any part of the meeting must inform the chairperson who will announce the recording. This is to comply with Mass Wiretap statute. And I believe
Caroline Cole, WHAB.
we'll be recording the meeting, so just so everybody's aware. All right, can we have a roll call vote?
Mr. Early,
Here.
Ms. Sullivan,
Present.
Mr. Rossi, Ms. Coppinger,
Present.
Ms. Basilea,
Here.
Mr. Paglia,
Here.
Ms. Fenn,
Here.
Ms. Kalina,
Present.
Ms. Lowell, Mr. Bowe,
Here.
Ms. True,
Here.
Ms. O'Connor,
Here.
Mr. Slavoski,
Here.
and the chair.
All right, I'll start with our pledge of allegiance. I'll stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, public comment, written public comments can be submitted to the chair through the superintendent's office and will be read by the chair at the meeting. Written comments must be submitted by noon time on the day of the school committee meeting. Do we have any written comments that were submitted?
No.
Okay. Do we have anyone here that would like to speak, public speak? Anybody? Seeing none? Okay. I'm gonna need a motion for the approval of the June 10th, 2026 minutes of the school committee meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? Call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Basilea,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Yes.
Ms. Fenn,
Yes.
Ms. Kalina,
Yes.
Mr. Bowe,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes. It passes. Okay. I need a motion for the June 10th, 2026 minutes of the executive session. Do I have a
So
motion?
moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any comments, questions, concerns? Call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Basilea,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Yes.
Ms. Fenn,
Yes.
Ms. Kalina,
Yes.
Mr. Bowe,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski,
Yes.
chair.
Yes. All right. Payment of bills, financial report, treasurer reports for June and July by Mr. Kevin Mahoney. I need a motion for approval. Do I have one?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Joanna. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions, concerns?
What are the numbers?
It's
It
early.
just says treasure reports, payable, what is it? Payables?
The numbers at the bottom, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Those are warrants.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Basilea,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia, Ms. Fenn,
Yes.
Ms. Kalina,
Yes.
Mr. Bowe,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes. Okay, moving right along. Student activity account authorizations. Is in accordance with JJF, the student activity accounts, the following actions are required. The school committee authorizes the principal to accept money for the following existing student activity organizations: class of 2020, class of 2021, class of 2025, class of 2026, class of 2027, class of 2028, 2029, and 30. Field trips, Gay Straight Alliance, journalism, Key Club, music, drama, peer-to-peer, ski club, student council, skills, yearbook, Cosmo tips, poets and tips, robotics, interact club, general miscellaneous, student activities. Do I have a motion to to authorize the principal to accept the monies?
Make a
So
motion.
moved.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second it.
In the second, okay. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger.
Yes.
Ms. Basilio.
Yes.
Mr. Paglia.
Yes.
Ms. Fenn.
Yes.
Ms. Kalina.
Yes.
Mr. Bo.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes. Okay, communications, there's no student representative report. So I'd like to call up Principal, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Leganis.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Superintendent Lynch, and the rest of the school committee. I have in front of you today, I'm looking for a vote for the evaluation of the 2025-26 school year. And that was the first document that was on there. And if you have any questions, I certainly can answer them. If not, I'd like to move forward for the 26-27 year, if possible.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve? We'll get the motion first, and then we'll come back with questions. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Now, any questions, comments, concerns? Joanna first, and then we'll come back to you, Mr. Early.
Yeah. It said something in 3.2 about a new website, but we have a new website, so is that just saying we currently
So
have a new?
that was last year, we covered it, and it's ongoing, and we're continuing to update.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
correct, though.
And I had another question.
Yep.
So, in 3.4, it says that we're gonna explain the lottery admission process, and then it doesn't say like on the web or to the middle school students, like, is there a plan to explain it to the community, you know, I would imagine through our website? Is there some other way that we're going to?
Yeah, and, you know, I know that, you know, we have done it live, obviously, with the
Yep.
YouTubes.
Mhm.
But yes, there's a plan to put it out on social media. It was new last year for the first time. We have
Yes.
our incoming, as you know, the incoming freshmen are all from the lottery. So, yeah, I imagine that will be out, you know, in the PR as well, if it's not already out there. And again, it's statewide, so it's everybody's kind of has the same, except for weighted and, you know, different types for different schools, but that's pretty much the same throughout.
I was just thinking like younger student, you know, like parents of younger kids.
Sure.
Sixth grade,
Yeah.
seventh grade, they might
Yeah.
not know about the lottery.
Yeah, and that's
but-
gonna be definitely part of the PR.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Early?
Those were a couple good questions. Has this been reviewed by a lawyer? 'Cause there's a lot of legal stuff in
Oh, yeah, yeah.
here. Our lawyer?
For the lottery, you mean?
Well, overall, a lot of things here.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Has this been reviewed by a lawyer?
Well, we haven't given the school improvement plan to the lawyer, but anything that we have in here is either a law, or is there something specific that you're concerned
No,
about?
overall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like our attorney has to review the school improvement plan. All the administrative team has looked at it, we've spent a lot of time on it, making sure it's up to date, and, you know, I think with the school improvement plan, our hope is that we continue to improve the rigor of our programs, continue to improve the school culture of our school, continue to provide our students the very best education that they can possibly get, both academically and vocationally, and that's really what the school improvement plan helps us do. It's a blueprint for the school year.
Thank you.
Mr. Bo?
Well, thank you for that explanation, and, I mean, this is over my head. So, I mean, what happens to this plan, I guess? Is this filed with DESE? Is it reviewed by, you know, peer reviewed, any kind of, or we just, you know, internally use it as a guidepost?
We internally use it as a guidebook. I will say that administrative goals for their evaluation, we use that. For the teacher's evaluation, we look at the school improvement plan so that we're meeting these goals. as we move out throughout the year. So again, it's a blueprint to kind of gear us moving forward. That's why it's so important to do it now before the school year starts.
And it, for the legalese, it's a blueprint to adhere and fulfill all the responsibilities that a DESI or any other regulation might put out.
Right.
Any other questions? Seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Basilio?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia?
Yes.
Ms. Fenn?
Yes.
Ms. Kalina?
Yes.
Mr. Bo?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes. Okay, thank you. And now, 2026-27 draft of the school improvement plan. And again, to your point, that you could see on the first, if we could just, I highlighted a few, even though there's quite a few different line items, but if we just look at 1.1, you know, we got together this summer, the leadership crew, and we developed the big three that we're gonna really be focusing in on. And this was developed by our leadership crew through, again, that includes the cluster chairs, the administration, and here it is, displaying student achievement, also professional, we're strengthening our professional learning communities, obviously, you know, to inform instruction, as well as, you know, what type of resources are best transferred to the kids. And also our grade book. We're always looking with the grades and the percentages, and, you know, thanks to my associate as well, principal, those are the three big things. And it's not just an overnight process. This is gonna be in the next, you know, 2 or 3 years with collaboration with all the teachers and the staff and the administration. So that's one of the things that we have, like a blueprint, like Superintendent Lynch talked about. You know, let's see what else I highlighted. The next, if you could go to the next page on 1.2, we have, you know, integration of lessons, which is also very important with the, you know, with the regular academics, with our vocational side of things. For example, you know, they've had some nice lessons with the science department and the forensics with dental, and kind of a real cool. I know that again, my associate and myself, and I think Ms. Lynch as well, have been in there and some of the lessons and that integration. So that's also a really neat thing we have and the luxury we have in the vocational system. Again, I'm highlighting, if you go to 1.5, you know, this successful partnership with early college. I think we're up at 300 or so kids for early college. So about 300 this year for early college. If you can turn to, and again, I'm just flying through things here, and stop me if you have a question. We also, this kind of follows in with the portfolio that we used to have. It's called the MyCap, and if you read, this is section 1.6, and the MyCap, My Career, an academic plan for our students. You know, with it's, you know, it's from the Massachusetts State recommendations. We were able to rebrand it, if you will, call it the Wild Cap, and you know, focusing on the kids in each level from freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and focusing on personal and social development, as well as career development and education, and then academic, college, and career, and just get feedback throughout the years and have these kids develop this program. So thanks to one of the administrators as well as 2 of our staff members, you know, that kind of spearheaded this and you know, to coordinate it with the state curriculum. If anybody's interested in the curriculum, I have it here, and you can take a peek at it. Another area which we're always concerned about, if you go to section 2.1, safety and security of the building. This is pretty much similar, but we're always looking to add whatever we can for the safety of our children and our staff. So we're, you know, making sure that's all up to date, and I thank our IT department as well. You know, putting in the E911, which is a system that you know, anybody in the building that calls 911 in an emergency, they're able to pinpoint exactly where that 911 call came from, and that could be from a cell phone. So thanks to our IT department, they were able to connect, and we had that, and that's gonna go in this year as well. Let's see, what else do we have? Some other fun highlights. We have, again, we were awarded the Above the Influence grant, and that's, you know, the intervention with drugs and, you know, the epidemic of the vapes and the marijuana that we're fighting on a constant basis, and our assistant principals, you know, and our I Decide program and our adjustment counselors each day, and our great counseling staff that are able to, you know, try to find intervention for our children. It's an epidemic, obviously, as we know, with adults and as well as kids, which is unfortunate. On section 2.8, Superintendent Lynch referred to the Culture and Climate Committee, and, you know, we want to maintain our positive culture here. And it's been, you know, an amazing, we've been in this building for quite some time, and we want to keep it that way, and that's what we intend to do. Collaboration and everything, you know, with staff and students. The students are the ones that usually tell you exactly what's going on, so it's, you know, we do whatever we can to involve our students. We also, with the Mass Leads Act that is out there, we are recreating, I should say, a diversity team, to have a diversity team leader and make sure, you know, that we maintain our diverse culture here, which is a positive, diverse culture that we've had for a long time. Let's see, section 3.1, you know, again, Mr. Bo, I think I think Ms. True talked about, you know, the PR. We're continuing the types of communication that are out there. This is similar from years back, but any type of communication and PR for our system helps us out. And then, what else do we have? Another highlight in section 3.6, if you could take a look at this year, thanks Kara for, you know, with the state, we never, half days, we did not feed our kids. We fed them breakfast only, but this year we're gonna feed breakfast and lunch to send them home a half day. So that's also state mandated, but Kara, thank you for helping me out with that throughout the summer. I know it's been a battle for you as well. And that's it. We have our NEAS coming in at the end, which is, we all know, if you don't know what NEAS is, New England Association of Schools and Colleges, and it's like the evaluation of the school, and that's going to come in at 2027, so we're going to start preparing for that. So that's a few of the highlights. I don't know if I left anything out, because you're going to hear me in a little bit with the handbook. So just looking for a vote for approval.
Yeah, just-
Sorry.
We can go on to the handbook.
Oh, handbook,
We
perfect.
just
Hey,
voted.
let's do it. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That was quick.
All right, that was beautiful.
And if I
Okay.
could start with the handbook, Mr. Early, this has been reviewed by
Yes.
our legal counsel.
Yes, and our legal counsel, I thank our legal counsel as well. Ms. True, you over the years, you've helped me holding this thing down, and our legal counsel, I don't know if you noticed, and I know you probably did, you know, we worked with her over the summertime, and she was able to hold this thing down, and you know, and make sure that, you know, some of the pages and the appendices, they're not A, B, C, and AAA, so make it less confusing. We're looking to go from 130 pages and not taking anything out, but just kind of honing down and shrinking the handbook for next year, not this year. But we're in the process, and thanks to our legal counsel, it's happening. So it's kind of exciting for myself as well, because we've been working on it for a while. And thank you for the typos and over the years and everything. So anyway, you know, what I did is I just went through, I have a list here of some of my notes. And again, if you have any questions, the first names, the school committee names, the updates and titles. you know, I know this came up in Maureen's retreat. Dr. Kelly Fay is a very humble person, and I've always had her as Kelly Fay on here, so and not only do we have Kelly Fay as doctor, but we also have our new assistant principal as a doctor. So we have 2 doctors on the crew, so if possible, I could put Dr. Kelly Fay on there, as well as Dr. Cornelius Campbell, who's gonna be our new assistant principal that I'm sure Maureen will introduce at some point. So that's, you know, some of the role changes are on here. As we know, Paul Muskovitz retired, or he's retiring, I think August 23rd. And you can see that Adam Gagney, who was our assistant principal, is now our vocational coordinator. If there are any typos, misspellings on your names as well, please tell me, or if I forgot, if you have your doctorate as well.
Mr. Early?
Quick question, is there a release that the kids and parents have to sign?
Yeah, we have all the forms, everything's online now. Back in the day, we used to have.
Oh, you have these books?
Yeah, you got the old books. Yeah, yeah, and we used to, they were physically, yeah. So back in the day, we would have to sign those, and get the parents to sign them, and,
Thank you.
yeah, everything's online now, thank goodness.
I have a question. Do we fine a child for being late or for being absent?
No, so
This
we're
is
gonna
not
get,
more than
we're gonna
2
get
hours.
there, that's part of the law,
Yeah, I read
okay?
that too.
Which, this is again by legal counsel, I said the same thing, but we will get there, I'm sorry. So role changes, and then table of contents, a few little changes. So absences and dismissals, if you wanna go to, page, I think it was 13. Yeah, and absolutely, so what our legal counsel said, because this is right out of the school committee policy and the law. This law is chapter 76, section 2, and the responsibility of the parent. And basically it says that, yes, there was, we don't fine $20 or whatever it was, but it's legally you can, but that's not what we do, because we have our own policies, but we follow along, again, with the state policy. So, hold on, so what she did was, last year's handbook, we had it as chapter 76, section 2, duties of parents and penalty. So she wanted to take that paragraph and put it right on top, and to show, you know, the responsibility and, you know, where the school is liable, and I'm sure there was some sort of litigation or something that prompted her to put it front and center on our attendance policy. Everything else is our policy, which it does say in the law that school systems create their own policies that can follow along with this as well. And fining, I did read that, because I was mesmerized, like, wait a sec, we don't fine $20 and send home $20 for the policies. It's an old law that's been in, you know, in the books for a long time. So, yes, technically, but no, it doesn't
You
happen.
can do it, but you don't.
Yeah, you don't do it. So, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that.
So, I apologize.
Yeah,
So, it's an old law, but understandably, we never had it in there? Is
no,
that-
it's always been in there.
It's always been in
Yeah,
there? Okay,
it was.
Why is it highlighted right now?
It was a school committee policy that she took that piece from the law and put it
Okay.
in kind of our area,
Okay.
just to show, like, and her philosophy. And again, if we don't want that in there, we can put it back in the appendices if we really wanted to.
Right.
But this was her idea of saying, okay, you know, the responsibility is there, and there is a law, you know, attendance law. So,
Okay. Joanna?
I just had a question. So someone who's reading this, the parent might not know pursuant to MGL, like they might not understand that
Mhm.
language, but if it just says something like state law, you know,
refer it,
Mass general.
Mass general law.
Just to say,
Yeah.
I know, but they might not know what MGL is.
You know what I
So,
could do is,
could you put a sentence just
Yep,
before it?
yep.
To say, you know, per Mass general laws,
Yep.
we need to include this statement.
perfect,
And then we go into, and here are our policies.
yep,
that, because it really did, like, it had the
It
same
kinda
effect.
jumps right out at
It
you.
had the same effect on me,
Mhm.
like, wait, what? So,
Yep.
just to help, I think, parents who might, like, I know what MGL is, but, you know, some of us do, but maybe some parents don't
Yeah.
even know what that stands for.
Yeah.
And they might think that that's our policy.
Yeah.
So.
No, I
maybe
agree.
If we could tweak it a little bit.
Sure. It just, you know, define it. Definitely. But I think it's, I guess it's serving the purpose, that, our lawyer, because it wanted to be front and center, so people are like, wait a second here. I gotta get my kid to school.
Got my attention.
So,
I'm gonna do a Mr. Early impression. So, do we have a supervisor of attendance?
yeah, tennis
Who
monitor.
would that be?
She's new this
We just
year.
hired her. We just hired her
it-
last,
okay.
in June.
Yeah. I'm like,
Her
I'm
name's
trying to
Amanda.
remember the name.
Amanda.
She's brand new. I
Okay.
apologize. But we do. Yes.
In honor of Mr. Early.
Yes. All right. Thank you. All right, so, all right, thank you for that question. That was awesome, because I knew it was coming. I was prepared. Let's see, let's also, you know, the cell phones usage, on page 17, I highlighted ID cards, as well. I don't know if, you know, most of our kids now have the ID cards that go on and on the buses, on and off the buses. They have to go ahead and scan in, security-wise, so we know who's on the buses, who's jumping on the buses, mostly for our afternoon, or our sports runs, and afternoon runs after school. Because usually our bus drivers are fabulous. They know who's in their classroom on the bus, and they know by face who's there. But at night, this was also a safety area. We're also transitioning into the new IDs for the staff as well, to make sure that that is all up to date. And I thank Graham, as well as my associate Katrina Jensen, Graham Godzik, our IT director, for spearheading this. So that's something new. We've had IDs, but we're really kind of clamping down for another safety. They're supposed to, we want them wearing them, but because vocationally a lot of them can't, that shop areas want them on their bags. There is technology, and again, this is new from this year and end of last year, is that correct? We started implementing it, but there's technology that they can have it in their bag and in their person that just walk on it and scans it. So we're hoping that we can evolve a little bit, and that will help in you know, the safety as well for our kids and our staff. Okay, so cell phones we have there. It's very similar. We've been very successful with that, knock on wood, even though obviously cell phones are an issue. But as you know, we have, you know, our district lawyer, she wanted to define the areas, and that's 1, 2, and 3, that they can use them. We did have that before, but now it's defining exactly, so to identify with the parents. And, you know, we do have, as we know, we have the cell phone lockers that we need to, you know, the staff and the admin, we all have to make sure everybody stays consistent when those kids come in, especially the vocational areas, which they love it because their cell phones are gone and locked up at the beginning, and they have them for 6 hours, as well, you know, even in the classrooms too. So we just got to stay consistent with that. And I know there's a big to-do with cell phones, and I know Superintendent Lynch could probably speak to that, with a lot of schools are maybe banning them totally. So we're not there yet, because knock on wood, you know, things have been working out pretty well with the cell phones. Dress code, and you know, this we were talking in the plant operations how hot it gets, and but you know, again, we have an advantage in the vocational area, because most of our vocations have dress codes anyway. They have to wear the proper, you know, proper tools, meaning the boots and the scrubs and whatever, to get into the shops. We have had a little bit of, you know, area where, you know, you're talking 1,200 something, 1,300 kids, where the class week dress code, we have to really clamp down. So on page 19, we had, if you notice, this is again, work with our legal counsel and talk about the dress code. And number 3, you know, during Superintendent Lynch's retreat that we had, you know, we want the kids to be work-ready no matter what. Okay, whether it's in the vocational area, or walking around the hallways, you know, to be appropriate. Can we do that? You know, we're gonna do the best we can. So, to keep, again, keep everybody there. So that's that on the, let's see, the dress codes, food service, I think I talked about the half-day lunches, I did. Plagiarism and cheating, this is a big one. With artificial intelligence, if you could turn to page 37. Artificial intelligence and the meta glasses. Is everybody aware of meta glasses?
They wear them to school.
Oh, boy, I know.
What?
So, you know, again, this was looked over by the lawyer, our lawyer, and, you know, she talked about the AI intelligence and how cheating, so there's something in our policies, which is great in the handbook, that we could follow. Meta glasses, you know, we have ran into a few problems last year, not knowing exactly what they are, but now we do. Meta glasses, if you don't know, they're real glasses, but you can videotape at any time. And you can also talk to the meta glasses and AI and get answers to a test, and then it will show it to them. So technology is really, you know, it's moving fast, but we're trying to keep up with the times. 42, page 42, an items not allowed in school. We put meta glasses, we can't tell someone they can't have glasses, but when used for videotaping, you know, that's when we've had issues, when the kids use them for videotaping. So, yeah, it is what it is, but we just kind of have to stay preemptively up on the times and try to make sure everything's in line.
Sorry, for that
Yeah, go ahead.
point, could you change it to meta glasses when used for recording? Because I feel you can probably record both voices.
Very good,
as well.
thank you, I will do that, I appreciate that. Yeah, recording, that's excellent, thank you. Okay, yeah, and again, any suggestions or anything, we're doing the best we can to keep up with everybody. Also, the appendix, the school committee policies in the back, and those are policies that have gone by you guys, and make sure that the ones that pertain to our school are in there. According to our district lawyers, they were saying that you guys have the real important ones that are in there, and those are the ones that are relevant, you know, for in school and the parents and the guardians and the kids. And then that's it. I talked about streamlining the 130 pages to 90 pages, so that's my goal, Mrs. True.
I think you can do it. You've done it before.
Thank you.
Do we
Any
have
questions?
any other questions for Ms. Bolianis regarding the handbook? Mr. Packard?
I have one question. Thank you
Yeah.
for the great presentation.
Thank you.
The question I would have pertaining to the AI
Yeah.
is, because I'm familiar with what we use at Whittier Tech, does Whittier have any platform that's used to like see or check if a paper has been used with AI or something to that extent?
Yeah, I don't know if we've had like one specific platform, but I know some of the teachers, they know those platforms and they run them through AI. I think a lot, and Katrina, you can correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the work they're doing in class because of it. So the teacher will identify to say, this is certainly not your work. But yes, I don't think we have one specific detector, but they do. And we have a couple teachers that have studied the AI and they've run some PR on the AI for our teachers. But it's something we just got to keep going, like you said. And if you hear of any type of detectors that one detector that is foolproof, I'm sure our teachers will love it.
I think we're catching up to the kids.
Yeah.
So it's something that we're going to continue to have to work on and improve. And I've used some of those detectors, and it's pretty amazing that they can tell if a student has used AI, and it's like 95% used by AI. So it is definitely something that we need to be aware of and be keeping our eye on. I do think we as a staff need to have more professional development on AI, because the kids are always 2 or 3 steps ahead of us, and we want to catch up a bit on AI, because it truly is. It's a challenge, but there's also a lot of opportunity for that, but we don't want kids to use the AI as a way to get through their work. We want them to learn and grow and have their own kind of education instead of just quickly putting something into AI. It does make things very easy, I think, and we need to have kids continue to work through that. And that's something we as a school district have to work with professional development on and make sure our staff are as up to date on that as they possibly can be.
And,
Oh,
go ahead.
Any, not estimate, but I mean, what's your feel for, you know, the use of AI by the students?
Well, that's tough. I mean, how many of us here use AI in a positive way too? So it's tough to, you know, half the time they're in the vocational area, pretty tough to use AI and you know, and hands-on stuff. But I would say it, you know, just from discipline that we've given out and plagiarism or whatever, not very many. You know, because they're detected immediately, and our teachers are great with the kids and say, I'm sorry, you know, Mr. Bowe, you didn't write this, and please write it yourself. And they're good about that. So very few. Katrina just, she showed me, to answer your question, Mr. Vice Chair, the Brisk AI is one of them we use. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's a detector. We also have some on the website. These are other, not detectors, but we use Canva, you've heard, Brisk AI, which is the detector for AI, Notability, Quizlets, Google Gemini, and iExcel. So that's kind of the list of maybe familiar apps that we have for our teachers, and the one is that, so appreciate you. Yes?
Is there going to be some kind of a committee organized or group? Just, I can see students using AI as like study materials and to like trying to figure out what questions are going to be asked on an exam, if that's considered okay. Is the school okay with, you know, putting student information into Claude and like having that uploaded to a large language model? You know, what are you comfortable having AI train on? What are you not? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
I think we've been working with MASS, the Massachusetts Association of School Committees, because of all these questions that you're saying, right? That we need to have a better sense about what policy needs to happen. I know there's been a push to have policy from school committee on AI, and so far there's been some pushback on that. But it's definitely something that I think we all need to have a better understanding. You know, you have Claude, you have ChatGPT, you have Canva. Those are all AI resources. But, you know, that line between helping and enabling, right? And we want kids to be able to do the work on their own, while AI is an incredible resource, right? So that's what we're trying to figure out. But I absolutely understand what you're saying, and it's definitely something that we're trying to get there with.
And to piggyback on Superintendent Litch's back here, that you know, a lot of our teachers have changed the way that they teach, you know, because of AI. And again, to use AI here, but also do the in-class assignments where they have the writing assignments and where they have to write them in front of there. So kind of going back old school a little bit, but then maybe, you know, like Superintendent Lynch and yourself are talking about to have like the benefits of AI and have, you know, a chat of a committee of AI teachers and what benefits them, so, and the students. So it's ongoing evolution, you know, we're trying to keep up with the times, so whatever we can do.
Right now, I need a motion for approval of the Student Parent Guardian Handbook. Do I have a motion for approval?
I make a motion.
Cal,
I
do I have a
second.
All right, any other questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Basilio?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia?
Yes.
Ms. Fenn?
Yes.
Ms. Kalina?
Yes.
Mr. Bowe?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes. All right.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the summer, and happy birthday, Lisa.
Thank you.
There's a carrot cake in there with your name
Okay.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Chairman, Madam Superintendent, members of the committee. I have a couple of things in the packet for you. The transfer request and the variance report, they kind of go hand in hand. So the variance report for the FY26 fiscal year, it includes the columns which align to the transfer request in the packet. This transfer will bring all the district accounts to a positive balance. The last column in the variance report shows what the ending balance in each account will be after the transfer. And again, we budget about a year and a half before the year ends. Whittier is very, very lucky to get a lot of grants, but a lot of times those grants come in after the school year starts. So we find that we have money that we can use in the grants that we don't have to use in the district budget, and then we find that with the enrollment of the kids, we have money that in the district budget that we need to use that's a little bit more than in other areas. So what we always do at the end of the year for June, we balance all the accounts at year end. So I respectfully request the approval of that transfer.
Do I have a motion for approval?
Motion.
Motion approved, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Joanne. Any comments, questions regarding any of it? Joanne?
Yeah, I have one. So you know you were saying that bring everything into a positive balance, but I look and I see a lot of zeros. Why at the end, I can't remember.
When I
it was
balance
last
it out,
year.
I make them come to zero.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Yeah.
so it's not a negative balance, it's just zero.
No.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Basilak?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia?
Yes.
Ms. Fenn?
Yes.
Ms. Kalina?
Yes.
Mr. Bo?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I also have a request for a transfer from the capital outlay account. In FY26, the school committee approved an appropriation of $695,000 for infrastructure improvements to the building and the wastewater treatment facility, as well as replacement vehicles for the transportation department. At the end of the year, a total of $548,260.56 was expended throughout the year, which leaves a balance of $145,739.44 in the account at year end. I'm requesting that the school committee approve a transfer of this remaining amount from capital outlay to the capital project special revenue fund. By putting it there, it becomes available for future capital needs that we need in the district. And we had a plant operations meeting earlier, and there are several things that are coming up that need to be done. So I've always liked to take any extra balances from the capital account and move them to the special revenue account so that they are there in the event that we do need them if something happens that we don't expect. So I respectfully request your permission to make that transfer.
Okay. Do I have a motion for that transfer?
So moved.
Mrs. Slabowski, do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Basilak?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia?
Yes.
Ms. Fenn?
Yes.
Ms. Kalina?
Yes.
Mr. Bo?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Kara Cosmas signing out. I leave you in the capable hands of Angus Jennings from here on out.
All right, moving along, reports and recommendations, Superintendent Lynch.
Good evening, members. Good evening, Chairman, members of the committee. Kara, we're going to miss you. So thank you for all of your hard work over the last at least 10 years since I've been the superintendent. You've been a confidant and a loyal soldier for me, and I can't tell you how much I've appreciated the work that we've done together that benefits the kids of the Whittier Tech region. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. You've always been so supportive. It has been a pleasure to work here for the past 13 years. I'm sorry it ended kind of like this. We still got it done, so thank you so much, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you, Maureen, especially. You've been wonderful to you.
Thank you, thank you. So on Friday, June 12th, I attended a meeting with the chairpersons of the school committee, the RAC, and the school building committee. This was an opportunity to touch base on the progress of the building project. On Monday, June 22nd, I attended the Board of Selectmen meeting in Salisbury. I want to thank Ron Fitzgerald for attending this meeting. We were able to update the select boards on the going on of Whittier Tech. On Wednesday, June 24th, I was a guest on WHAV Radio. This is my monthly check-in with the Haverhill station. On Wednesday, June 24th, Mr. Leganis attended the first listening session for staff to discuss the culture and climate of the school. On Wednesday, June 24th, MSBA invited Whittier Tech into the feasibility study. So that was very exciting, and hopefully we are going to continue to move forward with this project. On Thursday, June 25th, I attended the RAC meeting at Northern Essex Community College. Again, municipal leaders are continuing to attend these meetings to discuss the regional agreement. On Friday, June 26th, I attended the Whittier Tech Northern Essex Leadership Meeting that was hosted at Whittier along with the chairs of the school committee and the school building committee. On Tuesday, June 30th, I attended the Northern Essex Whittier Tech meeting at Northern Essex College. President Glenn, Jen Ball, the president's chief of staff, and Angus Jennings and I went to this meeting. On Monday, June 6th, I had a call with MSBA for our monthly check-in. They continue to look at our progress with amending the regional agreement. On Wednesday, July 8th, I attended the RAC meeting at Northern Essex Community College. On Thursday, July 9th, I had another listening session for staff to discuss the culture and climate of the school. On Monday, July 13th through July 15th, I attended the MASS Executive Institute down at the Cape. On Monday, July 20th, I had another listening session for staff to discuss the culture and climate of the school. On Tuesday, July 21st, I attended a meeting at Northern Essex College. In attendance was President Glenn, Jen Ball, President's Chief of Staff, Angus Jennings, and I. We were able to discuss the project and what needs to be put in place over the next several months. On Wednesday, July 29th, I attended the RAC meeting at Northern Essex Community College. On Thursday, August 6th, we had our CTI graduation. We had 90 adult students that are unemployed or underemployed participate in 200 hours of vocational training this summer. We had an amazing graduation, and it was so nice to celebrate with them and their families. I want to say a special thank you to Tia Gerber, our Director of Community Partnerships, and Amanda Crosby, our Vocational Director, for all of their hard work putting this project together. The CTI Carpentry Program put together a
Lovely pool shed.
a lovely little shed at the YMCA in
Ipswich.
Ipswich, and I want to thank all of the hard work that went into that. We have already been granted funding for next year's program for $826,000 to continue this amazing program. On Monday, August 10th, we had the Whittier Tech Golf Tournament. I want to thank members of the business office, Elisa Dawson, Tammy Dontremont, and Kara Cosmas. I also want to thank, again, Amanda Crosby and Tia Gerber for their leadership on this golf tournament, Ms. Kevkis for the baskets and the raffles, and all the other staff that helped make this such an amazing day. I want to say a special thank you to Kurt Slavosky for participating in the tournament and for his generous gift of hockey tickets. Thank you. You did great on that hole that I saw you on. I also want to say a special thank you to Rich Priscelli for his generous donations of a driver and the water flask. This tournament is very special to me. It's instrumental in helping our students, provide our students with opportunities, with scholarships, with holiday meals, with holiday gifts, and all of the money that is earned goes directly to the kids. And it's really just an amazing foundation, and it's part of Kara's legacy too. It's really been an amazing thing over the last several years. I think that was our 9th year as the golf tournament. I did win the first year, the golf tournament. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
Always have to mention that.
I haven't won since, but it really is such a great day. It's such a feel-good day, and it really is the Whittier Tech community coming together for our kids. And the Bradford Country Club does an amazing job with the tournament, with the food. I couldn't have asked for a better day. So I just really want to thank everyone that was involved for that day. And that's all I have.
Excellent. So moving on with feasibility, we have a couple votes that need to be had.
Yes. So as you know, we were invited into the feasibility study of MSBA on June 24th. MSBA needs the following authorizations from the school committee. that the school committee vote to enter into the Massachusetts School Building Authority feasibility study agreement for the MSBA proposed Whittier Tech Vocational School project.
Okay, so do I have a motion to accept to be entered into the feasibility study?
So moved.
So do I have a second?
No.
Second.
Second.
All right. Comments, concerns? Mr. Early.
Quick question, does this mean we have to spend that $2.5 million on a feasibility study?
This means we are starting the process of feasibility study.
But we don't have to spend it right
No.
now?
Right, we don't have to spend anything right now at this moment. We're
Thank
just
you.
agreeing to be entered into the feasibility.
Does
Because that's
the,
a very gray area.
does the feasibility study expire at any point, or like, would we need to restart the process if it ends up not going anywhere for a little bit?
So there is a timeline that we need to meet. You can ask for extensions, but they really do want you to stay on course for that. These motions are a part of what MSBA is required to have us do in order to continue to move into feasibility. And so the school building committee is gonna have to do a lot of work over the next few months, along with you, the school committee, as we move forward with this process.
So what is that timeline then?
I wanna say it's 18 months for us to complete the feasibility. I don't have it in front of me, but I would guess around 18 months. And so once we get going, once we hire, this is part of what we need to do, then you hire an OPM, an Owner's Project Manager, and then they kind of take over the rest of this process, as we work through the feasibility. And then eventually we will have schematic design, be looking at building renderings. So it's one step at a time. This is just the first step.
So just to clarify, even though we're not gonna be spending any money in the near future, we need to spend, I'm sorry, is it 2.5 million?
That's what
Yes.
we've allocated. We don't have to spend $2.5
Okay.
million.
So the feasibility study could cost a range,
Right.
and that has to be done. So we will be spending money, obviously, soon.
Well, once we hire an Owner's Project Manager, yes, that work starts.
So I think that's my question, so the next step would be that we hire an OPM. Would we then be voting on hiring that OPM, so that could be a stop point for us, if we wish to not move forward?
I think the school committee and the school building committee can choose to stop at any time and remove the statement of interest. This isn't required for us to spend the 2.5 million and finish the feasibility study. I have a lot of hope that this is going to work out. I think our towns are really working together and trying to figure out a path forward. No one ever thought this was gonna be easy. This is not going to be easy, and it's gonna continue to be hard, but this is a generational opportunity for our region, and it's important that we continue to move forward with that. And there are gonna be obstacles in our way, and we need to continue to work through those obstacles, because this is that important. We know the condition of our building. We know that it will be very difficult to repair, and it will also become a very difficult learning environment for our kids. The opportunity to work with Northern Essex Community College would be the first in our state, maybe the first in our country, and we really need to understand how amazing this could be. And what is happening right now is a generational decision for our region, and we all need to figure out a way to work together to get there.
I just wanna make sure I understand the timeline, or like what happens when. So if today we approve the feasibility study, the next step would be hiring an OPM, then we get quotes on the different items on the feasibility study. At that point, if the RAAC at that point has come to an agreement on how funding will work, which I won't get into, at that point then either the agreement comes to us, or does the vote go to the 11 communities? Like, how, am I missing any steps in the process?
So there's two things, right? There's the feasibility study, and then there's the RAC,
Yep.
right? And the RAC is the regional agreement.
Yep.
That regional agreement needs to be amended before we can go into schematic design. So as we're finishing up feasibility, before we can go into schematic design, the regional agreement needs to be amended. And I think that's what we're all working towards. The hope was to have the regional agreement ready to go to town meetings and city councils next spring. But, you know, that's what I would love. That's the sense of urgency that I have.
Mr. Early?
Yeah, you just said that it's difficult to repair. I don't believe it's difficult to repair, it's expensive to repair the existing building.
I think it's both. I think it becomes very, not a great learning environment for children when you're repairing, you know, electrical, plumbing, wastewater. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's expensive, it's difficult, and it's not a good learning opportunity for our kids.
Right,
Where are we gonna put the kids?
right, I mean,
Yeah.
what's the difficulty part of it is, as they're working on a section of the building, we have to move those kids somewhere.
That's if we go that.
Right, if we
Yeah.
go, right. So what maybe follow up with you, it's difficult, you know, to repair the school.
But in the meantime, if we're wasting all this time, whether it's 1 month, 6 months, 2 years, a lot of these things have to be done, whether we like it or not.
True.
The electrical has to get done. We talked about that in our meeting earlier. And when we had that meeting before the vote, and we had 50 to 100 people out here, nobody believed that the electrical was bad. It was bad, but now it's just worse and more expensive.
Right.
So that has to get done, whether we like it or not.
The more time that goes by, the more expensive this whole thing is. That's why I have a sense of urgency of trying to get this regional agreement amended by next spring. So we're not held up another year.
What we don't want to do is confuse everybody, but it is confusing.
Yes, we're trying to do a lot at the same time.
Any other questions? Mr. Walker?
Not pertaining to this, because I will be voting yes, but at some point I need to ask about, and I apologize, I thought, I saw the correspondence with Angus, and maybe I misread the agenda. I thought is there an opportunity to appoint a RAC member from West Newbury?
A RAC member has been, it's on the
Yeah, I
agenda.
think it's on.
Is it on the agenda?
It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah, okay, I apologize. I
We
didn't-
haven't got there yet.
I looked,
Yeah, we're almost
We're
there.
getting
I
there.
say,
We're
where is this?
Top of page
All right,
3.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
I
We're
did not
almost
see
there.
that.
So I have 3 motions that need to be approved by the school committee in order for us to move forward with the feasibility study.
So we got the first motion, we got the second. Any other comments or questions?
What's the first motion?
That the school committee vote to enter into the Massachusetts School Building Authority feasibility study agreement for MSBA proposed Whittier Tech High School project.
Any other questions on that? Questions, comments, concerns? Call the roll.
Mr. Early?
I just want to clarify, it doesn't mean we have to spend the money.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Basilio?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia?
Yes.
Ms. Venn?
Yes.
Ms. Kalina?
Yes.
Mr. Bo?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
So, I apologize, Mr. Early's question now sparks another question. So, for us to spend the feasibility money, it will require a vote of the board?
We're working
Okay.
through those.
Oh, we're doing it again?
Yes. I
Okay.
have 2 more motions.
We're getting
I'm
there.
slow, I guess.
Yes. You're like
Oh,
a
you're
step
jumping
ahead.
You're actually.
Yes, that the next motion is that the school committee chair is authorized to execute and sign the aforementioned MSBA feasibility study agreement on behalf of the school committee.
Okay. Do I have a motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any questions, comments, concerns on that?
I just want to clarify,
Oh, Mr. Early,
that
absolutely.
it doesn't mean we're spending the money.
Not yet. Not until we hire an owner's project manager.
I want to clarify it.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So this is just saying we agree to the thing we already agreed on above.
Right,
basically.
and send the feasibility. Right. Anything else? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger.
Yes.
Ms. Basilio.
Yes.
Mr. Paglia.
Yes.
Ms. Fenn.
Yes.
Ms. Kalina.
Yes.
Mr. Bo.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
The next motion, that the school committee chair is authorized to make final binding decisions with respect to the MSBA proposed Whittier Tech High School building project.
Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All right, comments, questions, concerns? There has to be some on this one. Everyone is very quiet. Amanda?
So are you asking for approval for him to sign a binding contract with an OPM? Would that be included under this vote?
It would be binding decisions. But the school building committee will have a subcommittee who will choose the OPM for that. So he would be following through. I need a signature. I need one person to sign off on,
But he's not making the decision himself. He's got
Exactly.
A group of.
And just for the record, I would never make the decision. I run the meetings. I am not the control person that makes the decisions for everybody. It will always
But this
come to you
vote
first.
allows him to.
allows him to sign off on the building committee, for the building committee. I need one person to sign off on all of these things, and that would be the chair of the school committee.
With our
But-
permission.
With, yes,
Yes.
It would come back to us to talk about.
yes.
I would not do it on my own. Even
Just to
if
be-
I
just
could,
be
I would
clear.
not. I would bring it to
Yeah.
because it's our school, not mine.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions? Call roll.
Mr. Early.
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan.
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger.
Yes.
Ms. Basilio.
Yes.
Mr. Paglia.
Yes.
Ms. Fenn.
Yes.
Ms. Kalina.
Yes.
Mr. Bo.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
And that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Old business. We got the superintendent evaluation results. Everybody should have a copy, I do believe, online. Did we all have a chance to look at it? Do you have any questions? No? Do I have a motion to accept the superintendent's evaluation report?
Move to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Yes, at least I have a comment.
Sure.
So I did not participate, I guess, although I certainly did deliberation on it. I just, as I was telling Ron, and I know I shared with you, I just felt that it was a very nebulous process, and I didn't feel as if I got a sense of what was really happening. And I called the school committee association, and I actually happened to get what's his name on. And yeah, I mean, he kind of, I don't want to say he agreed, but he certainly, got me to the whole SMART process and measurable and trying to remember where it is. And I just don't feel as if I just don't feel as if the evaluation that I was reading gets at the intent of the information I'm reading on this school committee document. And I don't know what anyone else feels about that, a specific task, realistic, measurable, whatever else the SMART is all about. Very similar to what Chris had laid out. Because, if you take the two of the plans that Chris laid out and what Maureen laid out, you pretty much have got it all. And I don't feel as if I have my arms around that. And I just didn't feel as if the evaluation process was satisfying.
Mr. Early?
I couldn't get a good feel on it. I am also one that did not vote on it, and for that reason, I'm not gonna vote at all. I'm gonna abstain.
Can I ask I'm just curious, like what you were expecting out of the report? I haven't So
Sure.
were you expecting maybe specific actions to come out of it, or?
Yeah, well, I'm rolling into my second year. So, the first year is too new and I wasn't aware of what the process was, front-loaded, so I didn't know what potential goals and measurable and all that, which is, kind of my understanding and evaluation. So I just sat back and went through, and then I, perhaps in other meetings, et cetera, there might have been these, like the MyCap. It is, as I understand it, a new process, as is the the parent councils, I believe, might be a new process. And clearly those are new things that need to be implemented, and as Chris had laid out, these are the responsibilities, this is gonna be the task, this is gonna be our goal, and ideally we can go back and measure that. So that's what I expected.
Mr. Early?
It's a good question, she said. I've been here 26 years. Seen a lot. I just didn't feel comfortable. That evaluation is sitting on my desk. I was waiting for the vote from the teachers, which, whether people like it or didn't read it, whether there was one teacher or 100 teachers. There was a lot of information in there, and I just didn't feel comfortable. It came out after, that I was getting ready to vote on this, and I'm not blaming the superintendent for anything. I just didn't feel comfortable.
Is there an opportunity maybe next year to have the committee vet what questions are put on the report, or can we amend or play around with it? Are those questions set in stone?
So at the beginning of the year, I put forth my goals. And I think that would be an opportunity to say if you like the goals, you don't like the goals, you'd like to add to the goals. The actual form is really a DESI form, but as the school committee, you can, I would think, be able to amend it however you choose to amend it. So, that's your opportunity. And I feel from both Mr. Early and Mr. Bowe, I would love to hear your feedback. If you didn't want to fill out the form, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you, because I always want to improve my practice as a superintendent. And if something didn't feel right to you, I'd like to talk about that and hear about that and discuss that. And that, again, that's the only way to improve is through that practice, so.
I will speak as the chair. I think if we put something together on our own that had value, that was value added, and again, following Mr. Bowe, we have the questions, we get the metrics from it, but what's the follow-up after that? There's not much follow-up with what we have here, but if we put something together on our own, that'd give us some follow-through, I think. So that'd probably be something I would think we'd want to look into possibly, since everybody seems to have a concern.
I think that it was a DESI form that we were using for evaluation. It didn't seem, the thing that I've always seen is that it doesn't seem to match up. Like, it's hard to figure out the numbers and the numerals and the goals, and there seems to be redundancies in it. So I guess for me, that's been the confusion, and I've just kind of muddled through it every year and, did the best that I could, but I actually had to print out something so I could look at the computer and look at the paper and then write stuff. I would like to see it be a little bit more aligned, like easier to fill out, I guess. That would be great. Kind of like our self-evaluation. It's kind of the same thing. I think maybe both of those things need some, to look at those. But ultimately, it was great to read that Superintendent Litch has done a terrific job with a lot of things that have come her way during this year and has managed them quite well. So I was glad to read that others thought that as well. And I think that the secondary survey gave some terrific results and feedback from staff that was, I think it's going to be, that was specific, the suggestions, and I think that's going to be super helpful. So the secondary survey that the administration team put out was very helpful in seeing some of the things that need work, and I think that's a good thing. All right.
Anything else? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Early,
And what are we voting on here now?
To accept the evaluation results of the superintendent.
I'm gonna abstain.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Basilea,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Yes.
Ms. Fenn,
Yes.
Ms. Kalina,
Yes.
Mr. Bo,
Abstain.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes. Okay. MASC, MASs, joint conference attendees, Joanna and Carol, I believe, you guys all
Yeah.
said, any questions or anything?
It's Danvers, it's gonna be
Everything's
easy.
good. The only other thing is, if anyone else is planning on going to the conference, please let Lisa know. Okay?
Make sure you have the right paperwork.
Yeah.
Always make sure.
Get a parental signature?
All right, new business, school committee meeting dates, 26, 27 year. Was everybody able to take a look at that? There's one slight change. The November meeting is on the 11th, which is Veterans Day. So we're gonna push that back a day to Tuesday the 10th. Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Any concerns with that?
Doesn't interfere with the conference.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
So, looking for a
'Cause it's the
motion
week
to
before.
approve the calendar dates for the school committee meetings for the next year.
So moved.
So moved, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Basilea,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Yes.
Ms. Fenn,
Yes.
Ms. Kalina,
Yes.
Mr. Bo,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes. Passes. Okay, now we're gonna come right down to Mr. Bo's area here that you've been looking for and waiting patiently.
I know.
Due to some
What's
movement on the
hungry?
RAC committee, one, Angus coming on board here to the school, relieved of his duties as town manager in West Newbury, where he was the chair, so therefore he was also one of the voting members for West Newbury, so they had to pick a couple other people to put in place, so I have Mr. Chris Weil from West Newbury as the voting representative, and Mr. Sean Fitzgerald as the alternate. I just need to have a motion to approve their appointment to the RAC.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or concerns? Okay, call the roll.
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan,
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger,
Yes.
Ms. Basilea,
Yes.
Mr. Paglia,
Yes.
Ms. Fenn,
Yes.
Ms. Kalina,
Yes.
Mr. Bo,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes. Okay. Big subject here, a RAC update. I would like to ask Angus if he would be so kind, as the sitting chair for the RAC committee previously, if he could give us an update, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the school committee. And just briefly, before I get into my remarks, I just want to kind of follow on what the superintendent said earlier in terms of the votes taken earlier tonight to go forward with the OPM selection. The schedule that we're on with MSBA would not result in actually signing a contract with the OPM until January. So I think to the question that one or two of you asked and maybe had in your head, I think that would really be kind of a go, no-go point. So that's still several months away. That's going to come up very quick, and the work is underway on the RFS, or Request for Services, which is a very prescriptive process with MSBA, but the timeline, as I think everybody knows, that's the school building committee, and like the superintendent said, a subcommittee that manages that OPM selection, but that OPM selection also has to be approved by MSBA. So that's why we know for certain it's not going to be before, I forget the exact date, I think it's in the first half of January. I want to say January 6th, but there's a date in January that MSBA would be approving that. So I don't think anybody wants to go through that whole exercise with the specific intent not to go forward, but in terms of encumbering money, until that contract is signed, the contract is not signed. So anyhow, so I wanted to provide a couple of kind of updates and observations. The RAC met 11 times between December and the end of July. It ended up being kind of a intense process at the end. There were 2 meetings in each of June and July. There were extra meetings added because we were, it felt like we were reaching a point of resolution on a number of issues. There were a lot of policy questions that were on the table right at the beginning of the process, for which there was either unanimous or overwhelming support by the end of the process. So that's the good news. You know, the challenge, as I think everybody knows, is the capital allocation, which I think is, you know, from back to 2023, 2024 was always going to be the most difficult challenge to achieve consensus. That does remain really the sole major sticking point. So just to walk through, so back in June, there was a vote of the committee, and I want to remind everybody, not so much this committee, but anyone who might be, you know, watching from home, the RAC is advisory to the school committee. None of its votes are binding. They are recommendations to this body, and it is up to this body, you know, where to go from there. But there was a vote back in June that was a 9-2 vote in favor of a per pupil allocation for capital costs, with the dissenting votes being the city of Haverhill and the town of Salisbury. And at the time, Neil Harrington, his vote was in favor of another method, and he spoke up at that June 10th meeting to request the opportunity to write up a compromise method, which I think everyone knows he subsequently did. He got that into circulation in mid-June, and that was taken up at the June 25th meeting, and then again at the July 9th meeting. And ultimately, a vote was taken on that on the July 29th meeting. That vote, in terms of what's been called the 50-50 hybrid, that's 50% based on per pupil, 50% on the current capital cost allocation of the total student population. That was a bit of a messy vote. It was a 7-3-1, with 7 votes in favor, 3 opposed, and 1 abstention, which I cast a vote abstaining for some complex reasons I'm happy to go into, but that was a little messy because the reason I start with a 9-2 vote, that 9-2 vote does remain at this point the kind of position of the RAC committee is a per pupil allocation, but we all know that that's not unanimous and that's not going to get this done. So the 7-3-1, shortly after the first of all, at the meeting, there was legitimate confusion or legitimate question in my mind as West Newbury's voting representative as to what is West Newbury's position on this policy question. Because at the July 9th meeting, the non-voting member, Chris Weil, spoke in favor of the 50-50 compromise proposal. Chris then went out of town for a few weeks, and he was not there for the July 29th meeting. So without him there, and with him having been, you know, on record in favor of the compromise, it was a bit muddled. So that's why I abstained, because I had a member of my board there saying she was not in favor. I didn't know. I hadn't talked to Chris in a couple of weeks because he was out of town for 3 weeks. So, and I knew I had just a couple of days left in West Newbury, so I wasn't going to purport to speak on their behalf, knowing that there was clear disagreement. So that's why I voted the abstention, but that made it a bit of a messy meeting. I know the select board has since met earlier this week. Kevin attended that meeting, and I haven't had time to watch the hour and 20-minute discussion, but I will, and we may get into that. But the other important point is I got a call within about an hour after the meeting on July 29th from Merrimack indicating that the vote taken opposed to the compromise proposal may not be representative of the Merrimack Select Board. We don't know that yet because that is going to play out, I believe, on a meeting later this month. But that kind of left, in my mind, a very clear question. You had a 7-3-1 with 2 of those, one of the no votes and the abstention vote, both being kind of question marks. So I don't know what will happen in Merrimack. I don't know what will happen in West Newbury, but it is possible that either or both of them could come around to the compromise. At that point, you'd have 2 capital allocation proposals, both with a 9-2. We're not there yet, but that could happen, and that could affect the position of that committee in its recommendation to this school committee. So I did send out a memo to the RAC last week. Obviously, I'm no longer a member of the committee, but I put together a memo to clear up what I think was a misunderstanding on the part of West Newbury. So I think that was helpful in clearing up that question. I have made a recommendation to the committee that they convene another meeting toward the end of this month or early September. And I think that's going to be very important, both to resolve what is in fact the committee's recommendation to this body on the capital cost allocation, as well as I believe it would be very helpful to this committee and to the broader public if there is a written report that lays out the recommendations, so that somebody who has not been following this process month in, month out can sit and read something and say, okay, I understand the work they did, what they agreed to, what they didn't agree to. So that's, I think, going to be very important for that committee to complete its charge to the school committee, is to provide you written recommendations with a draft regional agreement annotated as to what aspects were unanimously supported, what were broadly supported, and what were the issues or issue for which there's not consensus. So my next step, while I'm obviously here in this role and no longer on the committee, is to take that working draft regional agreement and to get that back into circulation. I did receive a couple of suggestions on the agreement in the day and a half to 2 days prior to the July 29th meeting. I chose not to put those into circulation because there were some material issues in there that had not previously been taken up, and I felt it would not make for a constructive meeting to send something like that out the day or day and a half prior to the meeting when there was already a lot of information in the packet that had been circulated. But I do want to be clear, there were suggestions that came in from a couple of different members of the committee, material suggestions that have not been put on the table for the RAC. So I do think there is work ahead. I did get responses from most of the communities to the email and the memo I sent out last Wednesday. Just about every community that responded said they are very available and willing, or even eager in a couple of cases, to continue to work toward consensus, including and from Chris Weil, who, the West Newbury's representative. He is very confident that there is a path to get this done, and he speaking for himself, said as many meetings as it takes, he's there for it. A number of other members said they want to continue to work on this. So that's, I wanted to make that clear. I did have, one of the members send a note saying, if the votes aren't going to change, what's the point? Aren't we just spinning our wheels? So that sentiment is out there as well. But I had some follow-up correspondence with that person, and I think once I explained some of the dynamics with some of these other communities, I think that they would be fully engaged as well. There are a couple of communities I have not heard from, so I do intend to follow up and just make sure that everybody is invested in the meeting. I will say, partly because of the intensity of the meetings in June and July, where there were 2 in each month, and these are, for those who've attended, these are pretty intense meetings. And it's taking a big chunk of time, and while I was traveling from West Newbury, not too far, people coming up from, Rowley or Ipswich, I mean, that's a half a day. So I was sensitive to not test people's patience. So I don't want to have this meeting happen until people are really ready to come in and be constructive and not be, looking annoyed or frustrated. That's not going to be a helpful dynamic. So I'm getting a little off script here. I apologize. So I did have, a couple of people have suggested a pause on the RAC with the intent to really restore people's focus on the bigger picture, which is what the votes you took earlier this evening to move forward with the feasibility study. I'm very pleased to see that you took that action. I know that is a bit of a leap of faith at this point, given that we're not at consensus, but I do think it's a very important set of votes that you took, and it sets a forward direction. And I think it's important to continue moving forward to allow time for these conversations to continue to take place. The sequence is very challenging, in my opinion. I think it's very clear. MSBA, when they required that the regional agreement be amended before the project can complete feasibility, that is logistically and politically very, very challenging to bring an amended regional agreement to the voters before the voters know what is the project. What is the project going to cost? So that's something we had, I think, a really good, pretty in-depth discussion at the July 29th meeting. Some of the community's openness to any change whatsoever in the regional agreement is specifically contingent upon this idea of a shared campus and the idea of efficiencies and cost savings that could come out of that. Yet, if the regional agreement was to go to the voters, let's say next spring, that will not be known because we'd be in the midst of the feasibility study. So it's a very challenging thing that the MSBA has imposed. Ideally, there could be some flexibility there, and they could, and this is a big if, but if they would consent that the project could go to schematic design and that at some future date there would be concurrent votes on both the regional agreement and the project, I think especially when you're dealing with a town meeting form of government, that's a much more intuitive way to think about it, where it's kind of, are we doing this project or not? And so that's a conversation, we can see if there's anything we can get some flexibility. But I do think it's just inherently challenging to ask voters and ask city councils to support changes to the agreement 1 to 2 years before you know what project it is and what it's going to cost. So I think the questions to the voters, some of the policy questions like cost allocation you would think begin to crystallize in their kind of understanding of it once there's a clear direction for the future. To ask those questions of cost allocation when it's purely in the abstract, it's just difficult. But we can start the feasibility process. We can go through it. We just can't get out of it. Under the MSBA regs, it does provide for a time horizon of up to about 2.5 years for the feasibility. No one wants it to take that long, and there's no expectation it will take that long. But I just wanted to. It's 900 and something days is kind of the I think one of the members asked earlier, is there time the feasibility study, like, it's too late. There is a prescribed timeline. It's got to be within 900 and something days. So it is a big investment financially and otherwise to go forward with that if there is not a clear path to consensus. So that's where it is so important to continue to move in parallel. Many of the communities through the RAC process have embraced compromise, but not all have embraced compromise. With the votes earlier tonight, the school committee has charted a course forward, and I think it's clear to all of us that the children of this district are counting on this committee and counting on their leadership to find a way to move forward. It's critical to the children. That's why we're all here. And it's really critical to the regional economy here in the Merrimack Valley. This project really couldn't be more important. So it will be up to, in my opinion, it will be up to the Vice Chair, Mayor Barrett, who's joined us here tonight. She is the acting chair. If and when there is another RAC committee, one of the first orders of business would be to reorganize. But with me having stepped down, it would be up to the mayor to determine what's going to be the right time for that meeting. I'm very confident there will be a meeting. Whether it happens, 2 to 3 weeks from now or further out is something we'll have conversations, and frankly would love your input as to, I think there's a benefit to continuing to push forward, but there may also be a benefit to pause for a little bit just to restore focus on the feasibility study, and we have to bide our time and meet when we feel people are really constructively engaged, and right now we're getting a lot of correspondence. Some of it's very positive, some of it's very thought-provoking, And so, we'll work together on what's that timing. But in my opinion, the committee is going to need to meet at least one more time and probably a couple of more times in order to really complete its charge that it was, tasked with by the school committee last fall.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Mr. Jennings? Mr. Early?
Great presentation. There's a lot of moving parts here.
A lot of moving parts.
In the meantime, we had a meeting earlier tonight. We have whether it's gonna be $1 million or $2 million worth of electrical work we have to do in the next, whether it's 6 months, a year.
Mhm.
It's all gonna be done during the feasibility study.
Yep.
I mean, these towns are gonna go crazy. They're gonna say, "Yeah, we don't wanna pay for that."
Mhm.
Now what do we do? We still, we don't have to spend the 15 million on the treatment plant we locked out there. We've gotta spend, whether it's 500,000 or $1 million in the next 2 years there.
Mhm.
So, and then the air conditioning, I don't know if anybody can realize, there's no air conditioning in here. The air conditioning is, broken right up there, so. This stuff is all ongoing every day right now.
Yes.
Yet, we're gonna spend $2.5 million possibly on the feasibility study. We've gotta spend $2 to $3 million here in the next year or two.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of moving parts that people don't realize. And the people have to go to a vote on this. And what they're gonna look at is before.
I do want to just thank Angus, because he did yeoman's work with the RAC. We never would have gotten as far as we got without Angus. His steadfast work, his meticulous attention to detail. You have a gem here, and you should all be happy. That is one of the, Mr. Early, you hit the nail on the head. We're going to spend a lot of money
A lot of money keeping this place going.
keeping this place going. And, there are critical infrastructure issues in this building.
Right
that-
now.
That will cost everybody money. That is why I am an advocate for the NECO site. Haverhill has moved considerably in an effort to have everyone come along. I know it's not exactly what everybody wants, but it is a damn sight better than what you had before. And, that's what politics is all about, is compromise. And I have been willing to compromise, not only for the kids that are here or gonna be here in the next 5 years, but this is a legacy. This is everything that we are charged to do as leaders in our community, to take care of not only the kids today, but the kids in the future in the community going forward. And we are taking a risk by this compromise, but I think it's really important to the greater community, to New England. I mean, we put kids out all over the East Coast that are working, and
We still have the problem here today.
but we still have the problem here, but that problem is not gonna go away. It's only gonna get worse. And at some point, even if you don't wanna spend the money here, you're going to have to maintain a
Somewhere.
building. So, I think it's imperative that we keep moving forward.
Thank you.
And I would add to that, as you know very well, the capital planning process is kind of runs in parallel to the budget process. And I know in the prior school committee cycles, September has been when the school committee has had a capital plan in front of it to look at what you might, or what the committee might be proposing for expenditures for the FY28 budget cycle. So that is,
What's nobody gonna think of that? That we've gotta spend $2 to $3 million right now. What are they gonna think? You were there.
well, it's interesting. I would, and
I'm not putting you on the spot,
Well-
but but you are.
You are, but you are.
so throughout the RAC process, we've talked really right from the very first meeting I chaired in January. We talked about door number 1 and door number 2. And door number 1 is this MSBA project with state reimbursement, and door number 2 is continuing to invest capital resources into the current facility at the current agreement, current capital cost allocation with no state reimbursement. That's door number 2. And I think it's been clear to everybody in that committee, and in addition to the members, there have been, especially as it went on, there were more and more non-members attending, which I think was really good. So there were a lot of eyes on that. We did not record the meetings, and I made that decision as chair, partly because I really wanted to ensure we had really frank conversations. And but I will say, I look back and I say, geez, I wish we had some really good discussions. And one of the challenges that I think emerged at that July 29th meeting with West Newbury, you asked about specifically, with a member of the select board coming to the meeting, not having been at any of the prior 10 meetings, was a different dynamic, because that individual had not been part of those conversations. Even though the meeting minutes, I think, are very detailed, I think the minutes do a really good job of capturing those discussions. I think it's different for those 15 members and really 26 members, I believe, with the non-voting and the voting, who were part of those meetings. I think they were all very clear that there are going to be investments that need to be made in the current facility regardless, because in any scenario, Whittier Tech is going to be in this building for another 5 years, in any scenario. Even if it's full speed ahead with feasibility and schematic and financing and construction, I mean, at least 5 years, because it will take that long. So there are aspects of the physical plant here that will need significant investment in that period of time. Even if it's just a Band-Aid to get through, you're still talking about a significant amount of money. So I would be surprised, I think I'm in alignment with the superintendent on this, I would be surprised if the FY28 budget proposal coming out of this school committee does not include some amount of capital investment. And that's, you're probably right. Some taxpayers will probably say, why are we doing this? We have to. And I think anybody who's, familiar with the physical plant and the incredible number of studies and analysis that's happened. That's one thing. Just in the week and a half I've been in this new position, I've spent a lot of time with Bob Hardy. He is incredible. His team is incredible, and the work that has been done, and the analysis that's been done, and you know it. How do we get that to the taxpayers? Because in a way, I think all of that good work they've done to keep this place running almost has worked against when it gets into the broader community, because people aren't, the taxpayers at town meetings are not used to being asked to spend a lot of capital. That should be to the credit of the district, but in a way it now makes it more of a shock to the system when there's
I believe 105 or 110,000 at Weston and Sampson. They were the engineering firm that they're very, very good on, treatment plants.
Mm-hmm.
They bought us, whether it's 5 years or 10 years, it's not a $15 million
right.
project. However, we've got to spend, whether we're going to spend $500,000 or $2 million in the next 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They got inside the tank, they did a little welding. They were very surprised on a 52, 53-year-old tank treatment plant, that there's some survival there, but we still have the problems.
Right.
And the biggest problem, other than that's $15 million. This electrical starts at $1.5, $2 million to $3 million. That's right down the road.
Right. You are correct.
But the towns don't want to hear it. But we have a problem.
Yeah. Well, and we have an obligation to
We have to do it.
to do it. Yeah.
Mr. Vogt?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's a question or, clearly I've learned in the last couple of weeks that we, as at least myself in West Newbury, have a sales job to do. It is what it is, and it is certainly a rock and a hard place, and it is really hard. But, you know, what are the alternatives, I guess? And so, like myself, and I know everyone here, I'm confident we need to be talking to our, you know, leaders in our community, our electeds, our just the opinion makers. And yes, we need a better job of communicating, you know, what we're doing and the reality. You know, frankly, you know, that you know, you look in the mirror as to whose responsibility that is.
Right here.
Me, that's my mirror. That's, you know, we all look in the mirror. That's we got to get this going. We got to have this happen.
One thing I was gonna bring up to, you know, add on to that is, we all have to communicate with our elected representatives, our select board members, our council people, our mayors, you know, see where they're at, you know, everybody can formulate ideas. You don't have to be on the RAC committee to come up with an idea. Well, maybe will this work, will that work? The more we communicate, the more ideas come out, the more that can be looked into, and maybe we come up with a better solution once there that they all can agree on. You know, but bottom line, at the end, we have to come up with some sort of plan for our new RAC agreement, put it forward to DESI to get the approval, and get it back out to our voters, and that's where the marketing comes in, why we need a new school at that agreement, or whatever that meets most, hopefully all. So,
Mr. Chair, you hit the nail on the head, but we have a problem from the last vote. The last vote wasn't pretty, you know, when everybody went out to vote. I myself went out all the time. I was holding signs. I was out there the day of the people were voting, and it was like they were throwing darts at me. I mean, I asked some different people, can you throw a vote for us? They said, Dick, I'll lose my job. I won't say what towns, and they were in a lot of towns. I'll lose my job if this thing goes through. It was that negative. It was just bad. So we have to get over this. I believe Whittier, the school board, or whatever, we could have done a better job, but we've got to get over it, but I don't think the public's over it. I don't know how we're gonna turn them.
no,
We need a new agreement, obviously, and everybody's in agreement on that. And isn't it important to get it done as quickly as possible, so next year, when the capital expenses come out, that we're using the new 50-50% agreement versus showing that we're making headway here and we're working to try to reduce some of the costs to the communities. I mean, it's not just for the new building, this is for.
No, I think that's a very fair point, and I think, you know, the superintendent made the same point about the sense of urgency to get the agreement going. The issue is the 11-0 vote. You know, the need for absolute consensus. And right now, we're not there. And for many of the reasons outlined, there's not the luxury of waiting until we are. Now, if the communities can get there and coalesce around an agreement that is unanimously supported at the leadership level, that will have a fighting chance next spring at town meetings. But if you have even one community, not just tacitly opposing it, but actively opposing it, it will not pass. So that's where right now we're at best 2 communities away, and perhaps further away. So that's where, you know, these next several months are really critical.
Can we ask the state to maybe go, can we have a 9-2 vote instead of a 11-0?
Well, under the under the regional agreement, those are the terms. I mean, there have been members of the RAC who have been stating for going on, a year and a half or 2 that they feel there may need to be some state legislation to change the quantum of vote. You know, I think politically that makes some sense, but I think that puts a very high burden on those state elected officials to somehow vote against the wishes of their local leadership. It's an intractable problem. So, you know, I don't disagree with the point that you made about time being of the essence to get that agreement amended.
Politics.
But the two, the challenges I see on that are, one of them is the fact that some of the community's openness to amend the agreement at all is contingent on an outcome with the NECC campus. And we will not know that next spring, and we will not know that for, could be as much as 2 to 3 years from now.
Do they understand though that we're gonna have to pay those capital expenses in this building?
It
I mean,
has
that's
been
my
stated,
concern,
it has been
is-
stated very clearly at the RAC meetings, but again, has that kind of, percolated out through the leadership? I don't know, I can share my observations from West Newbury, but there's 11 cities and towns, and I do think it would be, it will be a shock to the system when some capital, proposals come forward, likely in the next budget cycle at the current formula. I think there will be some number of voters who will say, wait a second, I thought we said we didn't like this formula. Yes, we all agree we don't like the current agreement, but getting to an 11-0 to change it is the challenge.
That's what I'm concerned.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Mr. County.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your
You have
efforts, like
done a
Mayor
great
Barrett
job.
said.
Thank
You did
you.
a great job.
You really have.
All right. Items reasonably anticipated, not reasonably anticipated by the chair, there's nothing, so moving on to reports of special committees, executive, we have not had anything, I don't believe we need anything.
No.
Nope, okay. Instructional personnel, Ms. True, you had a meeting?
Yeah, we had a meeting on June 22nd. We reviewed new textbooks, and the teachers were very excited about them, and we approved them. And there's also going to be new classes, elective classes, and it's pre-honors calc, AP comp sci, computer science, theater, and career and college communications. Those are the new electives. So anyway, so the minutes are for your approval.
So
Packet.
we, motion to approve the minutes of the instructional personnel meeting. Do I have a
Move to
motion?
approve.
Second.
Second, okay. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan?
Yes.
Ms. Coppinger?
Yes.
Ms. Badsaleer?
Yes.
Mr. Paglia? Ms. Ben?
Yes.
Ms. Kalina?
Yes.
Mr. Bo?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski?
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes. Okay. Plant operations, we have not had plant operations meeting prior, we have had one tonight, so we'll see those meetings at our next meeting. We'll see those minutes. Salary negotiations, had no meetings, do we need
I
one?
believe we're gonna have one soon, am I correct, Superintendent? We should be looking for something soon?
Not for September.
Okay.
Yeah. I do need an admissions meeting to review the new
Yes.
the admissions policy.
I was gonna say, I probably did.
So if I could throw out a date, August 19th at 3 o'clock,
When is that?
That's a third Wednesday.
it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday at
I
3
gotta get
o'clock?
back. Oh, Wednesday.
That's next Wednesday?
No, it's 2 weeks from.
They know.
No, it is next.
No, it is next
Wednesday. It is next Wednesday.
Yes.
At what time? I'll be there.
3 o'clock?
I think I can.
Of course, we want you there.
I have a notebook with the information.
Works good.
So you said August 20th?
19th.
Yeah, I can be there.
At 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Were they good with that?
Poor Lisa.
I don't know what I did with that. Didn't I just have one?
So we'll send an invite, I think most people can make it that day. And this is, we annually need to review the admissions policy, and I think after our first year, I think we'd like to make a few changes. So we'll bring those to you,
Okay,
okay?
sounds like a plan.
Kevin Bowe, Patty Lowell, Carol Sullivan, Dick Gurley, Erin Fenn, and Joanna True.
Oh, okay. So it's the 19th at, did you say at 3? I
3
can't
o'clock.
come. I can't go. Shoot. Okay, but I'm the only one, I think. I think everybody else can.
Can you zoom in?
I'm at a doctor's appointment with my mother. So I can't do it.
Could I zoom in?
I think so.
Okay. 3 p.m.
Yes.
So we all go with that?
Yeah. If anything changes, I'll let you know.
All right, and policy, Mr. Paglia, we have not had any meetings recently, do we need one? guessing we don't. We don't need anything, so we're all set there. We had no executive session. Two things left. One, for those who wanna stay after the meeting and sing happy birthday to Lisa, I'm sure you appreciate that. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
the cake already?
Motion to adjourn, Sandy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Amanda. All those in favor? Aye. We are done.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.